Well, I could say no, but I think the answer is yes. The Bible is not just a history book or a science book, it is what they call a book of life. It was written by many people in various periods of time and in many different styles. Not everything in the Bible can be proved scientifically, but you will find there's a red line about the existence of God, about His presence, about God coming ever more close to people until Jesus Himself is born on earth and brings us to God. I think a good example is the story of creation. We know that the world took more than 7 days to come into existence, but that doesn't make the creation story a fiction. It's more like a poem with a much deeper meaning. So if you ask whether to believe everything, I would say yes, but in the right sense of the word. Not everything on every page in the Bible happened literally in the way it was written, but still every Bible text tells you something very precious about God, about man, about our relationship with God. So if you take the example of the story of Jonah, who ran away from the task that God has given him, this story is not so much a historical or scientific description of events, but it's an underlining of the way in which God cares for His people, even when we run away from Him and we hide, when we avoid our tasks. So that brings me to an invitation to you to believe in the central message of the Bible and not to be distracted by the seemingly incredible details, and instead to recognize the love of God for all and His desire for you to answer to His love.